If Heaven's Gate closes and humanity can no longer access these realms, for an individual to get past the gate, they must prove that they are pure from Sirian influence, and by behavior show that they are not going to pollute the divine realms of the goddess. It gets harder and harder to get in. But back to question number 2.
Why don't the angelic beings from the Ka come here and teach star beings instead of creating us insignificant beings to accomplish such a huge task?
The goddess did send out her angels to teach both mankind and other star races in the hijacked 4% universe how to get to heaven, but it hasn't worked as expected. Just like here on Earth, enlightened beings have been rejected and attacked by those who want power in the 4%, and their message has been twisted and distorted. This led to a change in plans. The new divine plan is to have 12 living libraries activated in the universe, so that those who are willing to learn look for the answers themselves instead of having angelic beings giving it to them, or giving them hints. This way, the responsibility to evolve to the heavens comes on the individual him or herself. A brilliant idea. However, the 12 libraries are interconnected in the sense that they all must work in unison to accomplish their goal. It is too much for one species, such as mankind, to hold the vibrations necessary to guard all the information. Hence, we have help from other beings on 11 other worlds across the universe. There is apparently one more living library in this galaxy, and one in the Andromeda galaxy, about 2.2 million light-years away. Where the rest are, I have no idea at this time. Star beings, living in the 4% dimensions can still learn how to get access to the void, but it's much harder without the living libraries. We, as human beings, have a responsibility to get this library working by raising our frequency enough to hold the position as library cards. Now you also see why star beings who are watching us find it extremely important to keep the living library intact and prevent Earth from being destroyed. The good news is that due to how the multiverse works, we create our own reality. Individuals can break out of an ingrown pattern and create a different reality by changing our belief systems and our thought patterns. The multiverse will adjust to our changing paradigms. This way, if enough individuals start vibrating on a higher frequency, we create a new Earth, which does not allow the lower frequencies, emitted by the Sirians and their technology, to coexist with us. This way, we can still be the card holders, without having all humanity following the same path. But it doesn't come easy. This is why the most important thing we can do is to work on ourselves. I can't stress this enough. If you work on yourself, you also work for the benefit of humanity and the rest of the 100% universe, because you bring others up there with you by their matching your frequency and your intentions. When your frequency vibrates in alignment with truth, other people who have the ability to feel it, will tune in and start having epiphanies. This galaxy, our own Milky Way, has 2 major portals. One is in the galactic center, the womb of the mother, where stars were, and still are, born, and one is in Orion. There are a lot of other ones, like in Ursa Major, but the galactic center and Orion's belt are the 2 important ones. This is also why the mother goddess and her physical manifestation, the Orion Queen, the Queen of the Stars, are said to dwell in Orion, and why Orion seems to have such importance. When Nek-TT, it is the name for the queen. Notice that this infamous, and much feared, wolf-and-reptilian race from Sirius, in their quest to conquer the universe, came close to Orion, and more importantly, Peshmetan, the 7th passageway, she had to act. This is why the contract between Orion and the Sirian King of Kings had to be written and the business marriage between the two needed to be done. By doing so, the queen, from her position in the physical universe, could keep an eye on the overlords. This didn't work as planned, because her husband, the King of Kings of Sirius, in secret used his son, Lord ENLIL, to invade Earth, and his Aryan wife had apparently been manipulated by him, and did not report back to the queen. So one could say the takeover of Earth happened due to a conspiracy between Enki, Nin-Hersag, ENLIL, and Ninlil, ENLIL's Aryan consort. The Great Portal, or Stargate, which exists in Orion, next to Peshmetan, had to be protected by all means. Although the portal on which our own Earth sits is now in the hands of the Sirians, the Orion Stargate is, from what I know, still protected. If it wasn't, the Sirians would probably have an open war inside the Ka. Still, because of the Great Portal in Orion, the warlords are planning a war against the Orion Empire. They want access to that portal. Also, I now need to add here that technically there are 2 Orion empires. One is located in the 4% and consists of star systems that were either conquered by beings from Orion's belt in a distant past, or by star races who joined the empire because they knew that Orion was the stairway to heaven. The other, Orion's empire, is located in the Ka. The manifestation of the goddess, Nek-TT, is controlling both. Although the Sirians have managed to lock in the 4% universe to prevent beings from achieving the fire, the star systems in the 4%, which are part of the 4% Orion Empire, are part of an empire which is resisting the Sirian control in the 4% dimensions. I use the word control in here rather than control of, because although the universe is locked in by the Sirians, it doesn't mean all star races in the 4% are under Sirian command and control, far from it. It only means that they have control over the energy in the 4% universe. If they want to control all star races within this universe, they have to conquer them, one by one. But no one living in their hijacked universe can escape unless they either have the code, which can only be accessed through the living libraries, or by figuring out that they are slaves to the Sirians by default, just by living in the 4%, and work themselves up to a frequency high enough to be able to blend into the Ka. The latter is not an easy task, although it is being accomplished now and then by individual star beings and soul groups. The Sirian star race is probably the most aggressive and dominating warrior race this universe has seen. If that is not true, at least they were the ones able to hijack the energy, so that should tell us something. Also, they found a way to do this through technology already as a relatively young race, which is also quite impressive. However, our task is not to take back the 4% universe from the warlords and help regaining Aryan control over it. Our task is still, if we so wish, to guide star races how to leave this realm and become Ka dwellers, and perhaps also inhabitants of another 4% universe, not hijacked by the Sirians.